One of the most divisive things in not just Mortal Kombat 1, but pretty much every MK game is the roster. And it got me thinking, what would be the perfect Mortal Kombat roster? So I went ahead and assembled what I think to be a near perfect list of characters for an MK game. Before we begin, a couple of parameters. Number one, the average MK game roster is between 24 and 28 characters, not counting DLC. And since I'm taking on this task of trying to make the perfect roster, I'm gonna give myself a little bit of wiggle room. I'm gonna set the limit to 30. Number two, no OCs, guests, or NPCs. So that means no Doom Guy, no Madame Bo, and no Combat Kitty. Sorry, Cookie. Number three, when assembling this roster, I'm taking everything into account. Popularity, gameplay, story placement, etc. And number four, I'm considering perfect to be well-rounded, showing off everything that Mortal Kombat has to offer, and would probably get around a 90% approval rating, because getting 100% is impossible. Let's start off with the most obvious thing, being the MK 1992 gang. Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Liu Kang, Johnny Cage, Raiden, Sonya, Kano, Reptile, Shang Tsung, Goro. These guys are where it all began. The franchise was built on their backs, their unique looks, personalities, and fighting styles. All of them would have to be on a perfect roster. And here's where it starts to get tricky, because we only have 30 slots and we already filled up 10, with over 100 left to consider. And continuing on chronologically, Melina, Katana, Jade, Kung Lao, Jax, Baraka, Noob Saibot, Smoke, and Shao Kahn. Kintaro could be like a premium skin for Goro, and Shao, I considered going without him, but he's just too iconic. And we're over halfway full and we haven't even passed Mortal Kombat 2, so it's gonna be a little more tricky from here. And continuing forward, Ermac, Nightwolf, Sindel, Cabal, Cyrax, Rain, stop. I like Shiva, I like Stryker. Sector is great, but we're running real low on space. We gotta have at least one cyborg, and Cyrax is more popular and a better character, so he makes the cut. We're down to only 5 spots and we haven't even left the arcade area yet. But I feel like for a perfect roster, all the aforementioned are mandatory. So it's gonna be real tight pickings from here on out. Number 26, Quan Chi, and that's it. Fujin's great, but I think most people can live without him. Reiko and Tanya are fan favorites, but if we're going for a near perfect pick of only 30 characters, sacrifices must be made. Number 27, Kenshi. Come on, he's the best creation of the 3D era. But that's gonna be it for Deadly Alliance. Sorry, Frost. And at number 28, we have the second best creation of the 3D era with Havoc. And that's a pretty easy pick because pretty much every other newcomer from Deception is kind of mid. And we're down to only 2 more empty slots. This is gonna be a bit tough. However, we can catch a little break because we can skip over Armageddon versus DC and 9 because no notable new characters debuted. So at number 29, we got Aaron Black. If we were going to pick one single character to be on this roster from MKX, Aaron Black is without a doubt the most popular. Kotal Khan is cool, but his reputation has been ruined. I like the combat kids, most of them, but most people don't care for them. Devora is a great character, but I'd be stabbed in the street if I implied that she deserved to be on the perfect roster. So, the final character that I would add onto the perfect Mortal Kombat roster at number 30 is Skarlet. The newest ninja on the roster and the pinnacle of what a Mortal Kombat character is. She's obviously got the ninja archetype. Her whole gimmick is blood and viscera, and she started off as a rumor. If all those things don't scream Mortal Kombat, then I don't know what does. She deserves to be on a perfect Mortal Kombat roster because she embodies Mortal Kombat. I'll admit, this was a painfully hard list to make. No Tremor. I considered putting Garrus on there, but he's part of the Hourglass time travel shenanigans people aren't a big fan of. Only one Cyborg. I really wanted to put Serena and Bulratch on this list, but look at this. Who the hell was I going to kick off on their behalf? Maybe Quan Chi, but he's enough of an icon to have earned his place. What do you think? Is this list as close to perfect as you can get? Let me know and follow for more MK content.